fight back them demons and they keep screaming to release this aggression. Sometimes I question, why did I have to go? God, you said I'd be fine. How you forget to save me? I'm a baby. Hey, we need some time. I need to grow up taller. Need to raise my daughter. Need to raise my son when I'm a woman. We need men that raise good fathers. As I lay sleep on that couch, I dreamt the day that we be free. And we no longer mourn through song and help prolong our family tree. So grandma remember me as my story made the TV. It breaks my heart to break apart from you as tears crawl down your cheek. Maybe one day we'll be hand in hand. I land right by your side. We'll both find heaven, you and I. Until that time we touch the sky, mama, don't cry. Yeah. Mama, don't cry.
Hey, welcome everybody. Colin here with Talking Ball. Guys, it's the big day. Couldn't sleep last night. I was excited. I was too excited. I was nervous. Big match today, as you all probably know. We had a guest in the back room. Hopefully he comes back. We've got a guest. We've got a couple of guests in store for you guys today. But of course, we are talking about Tottenham versus Liverpool. And what's potentially the game before a final for Spurs. So I'm really excited. I'm also kind of tired. Just woke up a little bit ago, but I had to get this in, had to get the show and had to talk with you guys about what we've got to look forward to today. There's a lot to talk about. There's a lot that could go on, a lot of different changes. We've brought in some players. Are they going to play? We'll get into that. Who do we expect to see from Liverpool? I'll give you a hint. They don't have many injuries. But it should be a great match. I weirdly don't feel that nervous about it. But we'll get our first guest in right now to get his opinion and see how he's feeling. We've got Daniel in the house. What's up, man?
Yeah, all good, mate. All good. You good?
Yeah, no, doing great, dude. Tired. I just woke up a little bit ago. It's still morning around these parts, but good afternoon to you, my friend. Yeah, dude, how are you feeling? Are you excited? Nervous?
Yeah, I need to win today, especially after the day I've had. So yeah, so I'm nervous. I'm nervous even more now because I need this win to lift my spirits up.
No, I know how that goes. Nothing worse than needing a win too, because life hasn't been great and then not getting it. You know what I mean? So for your sake and yeah.
But to go more to the game today, yeah, I think it's a massive game for us today, but I don't think it's the game that's going to decide Andrew's future at this club. I think I said to you, I think it was yesterday or the other day when I was on it last. I think the Europa League now as well, and Levy sees the character of the season now, because it bails out our season if we win the Europa League, because we still end up we get top 5. It gets us Champions League football still, and it gets a cup at the end of the day. So it's the only way now to completely bail the season out. Where say if we win the Europa League and I don't like to do this, but look at rival clubs like Arsenal and Chelsea. say they don't win anything and they get top 4 as well. If we win a trophy in Europa League and we finish 12th, we've just had just as good season as them. So that's the way I'm looking at it. I want to win today's trophy, but I think him resting Van de Ven for this game now shows that I think his eyes are more on Europa League as well. So I think after Ange sees that as his opportunity to really salvage this season. That's personally my opinion. But I'll say I think today's game we're going to have to defend really well to get through this game because Liverpool are going to throw it all out. It's like the first 45 minutes of this game are vital because if we concede early, then basically it cancels out the advantage we got.
Absolutely.
We took there. So if we concede in the first 5 minutes, then basically it's an 85-minute game of where we have to. It's basically a 0-0 again. Basically, if they score early, so it's the first 20 minutes of that match, 25 minutes. We have to frustrate them a bit. We can't go too high pressing against this Liverpool team. When people say go out and just play high press against them. If we go high press and then leave the spaces in behind, it's troubling.
Yeah, and I was gonna bring it back to that Brentford the Brentford match in just a second, because I thought that we played a lot. Our line wasn't nearly as high against Brentford, in my opinion, and from what I remember seeing, I obviously could use to rewatch the match. I don't really like to talk about matches I've only seen once, just because you're busy, you don't catch everything. But yeah, from what I can remember and from what I saw in the Brentford match, we didn't play with near as high of a line. We seemed to be a little more pragmatic in our approach. And it almost looked like a plan B. Everyone always talks about Postecoglou like he's got no plan B. It definitely looked like there was one versus Brentford. Big up Chris Peters and Quez. Oh, no, you're good. I was just bigging up in Chris Peters and Quez. But yeah, you were saying?
It was definitely more defensive the last performance against Brentford. Definitely, you can tell by the way that they were. You can just tell it was more defensive, and you can tell that he sort of realised I need to get this win to get out of trouble with. And it's sort of like he realised a bit maybe too late into the season he should have done this. He should have maybe done this maybe a few weeks earlier into January. And then we might have salvaged some more points during this little period where we were getting no points. This is what I was saying about sometimes just getting points to get draws. If Ange would have done this during this little period, we wouldn't even be on 27 points now. We'll be on like at least 33, 34, and he wouldn't even be really in this situation. So I look at he sort of learned maybe a bit late, but I don't mind if he's going to do it today. Of all day, but I don't want him to go too defensive though, because if you sit too back, if you sit your line too deep away at Anfield, that's asking for trouble as well. So you have to get the game plan spot on. You cannot go you cannot go all out and press them too high, because then if they beat your press, you're in trouble. Which Liverpool one of the best,
especially with no Van de Ven on the recovery runs.
Yeah, they're one of the best. They're one of the best in the league at beating the press as well. Liverpool, because they've got really good players on the ball in midfield. So they're really good at beating the press as well. So you have to worry about that. So in my eyes, you have to go mid-block here. You have to basically decide when to press in this game and when not to press. So basically, you have to be smart. The only way we're going to really score against this team, is either them making mistakes, Liverpool. And sometimes they do at Anfield. Sometimes they can be their own downfall at times, Liverpool.
Oh, we'll have chances. They present us opportunities. We just have.
There is games there over the last couple of years, like this season, where Forest caught them. Like Forest nailed the perfect game plan to get a result against Liverpool. Soak up the pressure and then hit them on the counter. But then it's sort of like it sort of goes to how Forest's season's going, because they've been really good this season. Like Forest had a good game plan. They had quick wingers like Hudson-Odoi and Elanga, and it caused Liverpool a bit of trouble. They noticed that Liverpool got no Trent today as well. So
I was going to show. So one thing I wanted to show you guys. So they've got no Trent, which is something. But check this out. Just speaking of injuries, I just wanted to show you the difference here. It's kind of crazy. So you see here, it's got Liverpool's injuries, Trent Alexander-Arnold, and that's all. And then we come to Tottenham's injuries. And I know we all already know, we're aware of the injury crisis, but look at this. Brendan Johnson, Romero, Udogie, Solanke, Vicario, Madison, Van de Ven, Dragisin, Turbo Timo, and Wilson Odobert. All injured. Like that's just crazy. Yeah, I mean, if we end up if we do end up getting something out of this, say we get to the final, say we win. I know I'm way ahead of myself right now, but Ange will have done this with just about everything stacked against him. Like, how often does this happen?
Yeah, people can't say he wouldn't have done it the hard way as well. It would have been a Man United, Man City, Liverpool, 3 rounds in a row, back to back, back to back. You can't really get a harder cup run than that. So to win this cup, if he wins this cup from the scenario we've been in for the last 3-4 months to where we're not, now he's going to have to knock out Man United, City, Liverpool, Newcastle, 4 teams in a row there. They're 4 of the hardest teams to play in this country. Well, United, not this season. Man City, a bit inconsistent. But, on paper, that's got to be one of the hardest cup runs you can get to winning the cup. So if he does win it, no one can take it away from him this season. That's one thing you can't do, because this will be one of the hardest cup runs Spurs have ever had to do to win a trophy.
Right. Sometimes you can say, "Oh, you got an easy draw," or your first 3 games were easy. Right.
Yeah, like even though Man United are not Man United by heritage anymore, like on the field, yeah, it's still a massive game on paper. And then you look at Man City as well. Man City's still one of the best teams in the country.
Right, they're having problems, but that doesn't take away from their skill, both individually and as a team. So yeah, absolutely.
And then Liverpool as well. You're knocking out Liverpool, who probably are the best team in Europe right now. If you do knock out Liverpool, yeah. And then you're knocking out. If you beat Newcastle in the final, that's a tough final as well. So if he wins it from here, the run to get to winning the trophy is probably one of the hardest runs we've had one of the hardest ones we've had to win a trophy. So you'd have to respect him for that, definitely. Because people will say because over the years, we barely struggled to beat some of these big teams. And to win 4 of them in a row in a competition, that would be fair. You have to respect him for that. I'll clap my hand and say fair play to him for that. But it's going to be like Newcastle. It's the perfect final for the neutral. It's Spurs against Newcastle, because it's 2 teams that got a trophy throughout. So it'd be good for the neutral fans, because if one of these teams would win a trophy, if it's Spurs beats Newcastle in the final, I don't think Newcastle won anything since the 50s.
Yeah, we've won much more recently than Newcastle have.
Yeah, Newcastle literally haven't won. I think the last trophy was an FA Cup. I think it was 58 or so. Like 58, it might be. Was the last time they won a trophy.
Sounds
they won
right.
championship. He won championship trophies, but they've literally. I remember them being in back-to-back FA Cup finals, late 90s, 98, 99. They were back-to-back FA Cup finals against Arsenal and United. They lost both the finals 2-0. And I remember they beat us in one of the semi-finals, Newcastle, 99. It's the year Spurs won the League Cup, 99, I remember. Because it's probably, we could have done a double that year. We got to the semi-final of the FA Cup and we won the League Cup in the same season. It's the year Man United won the triple.
And Newcastle are the ones that knocked us out?
No, Newcastle the one who knocked us out the FA Cup semi-final. Extra time at Old Trafford. It's 0-0. They knocked us out on penalty. They beat us 2-0. Shearer scored the screamer. And he scored a penalty. It's when Sol Campbell's playing for us. Sol Campbell gave away the penalty, I remember. And then 99, we knocked out United at the League Cup quarter-finals. So that stopped United doing the quadruple. Because United basically won the Champions League that year, Premier League that year, and FA Cup. So the only other team that won a trophy that season was Spurs. And that's 99. Yeah, so it's mad times that. I always remember that, because I was a little kid sitting in my living room watching it. And my mum went mad when the second Newcastle goal went in.
Man,
she's like proper silent. She started going crazy, started smashing on. Obviously, she had a few too many Manaboots and Coke in it. When she was watching the Spurs game, and she went a bit nuts after they lost. I remember.
I love that though. I love the passion. See, with my family, my mom is obviously a big Spurs supporter too, but we're not from the area. We don't have that tradition and family heritage, and that's awesome, man. That's awesome. I love thinking about that. I bet your family is fun to be around watching Spurs matches for sure.
Yeah, they're all from Tottenham, man. So I'm the only one from Milton Keynes. They're all from Tottenham.
Oh, nice.
So they moved up to Milton Keynes in the 70s, because obviously I only got built around that time. Because obviously London's a bit hard to bring up sometimes. Little kids sometimes in that area. It's not always the easiest. So they moved to Milton Keynes. I'm the only one who's not from London in my family. All the rest
crazy, man. I've never made the journey to Milton Keynes, but I have heard that it was they did kind of build it as. They had an idea for how they wanted to build it. They, and created some jobs. It seemed like a cool idea.
Yeah, 1 second. Well, a lot of it's based on the American grid system, the road over there. Yeah, how your roads are over there, your grid system over there. And we base a lot of our road system on that as well. It's very hard to get lost in Milton Keynes if you're on the road. If you get lost in Milton Keynes if you're on the road, you'd have to be very stupid.
You're not very good at directions.
It's all built on a grid system to basically make you not get lost. So basically, it's near on impossible. Yeah, it's near on impossible to get lost, right? So, and then people always laugh about it. There's a lot of roundabouts. There's definitely a lot of roundabouts. in Milton Keynes. That's one thing. Like, we're known for our roundabouts, man. There's too many roundabouts.
Do the people there at least know how to do it? We get roundabouts here, and people will stop in the middle of them, and I'm like, "What the hell are you doing? Just drive."
Yeah, well, a gradual. Some drivers know how to get around them. Some drivers, you know what I mean. You always get some mad drivers who don't know how to drive no matter what. So you always get some funny drivers who go to a roundabout and then don't have a clue what they're doing. So,
yeah. Oh, everywhere. So it's not just here. That's good at least. But all right. So hey, I wanted to talk to you about one thing, man. So I can't pronounce Tell's first name. Is it Matthias? Matthias Tell? Matthias?
I'm not really sure. I'm gonna go. If it's the French way they do. Everybody remember the Matthias Tell was there?
Yeah, that sounds right. But if I'm mispronouncing it, sorry, Mr. Tell. But I was just gonna say how cool it is that Ange has got the gift of gab, and he another player he convinced to come to Spurs. That's an exciting thing.
It's a good sign. It's a good sign for the people who. Obviously, you're more Ange in than I am. So I don't like to really put this label on things. Ange in or out. Ange in or out. I'm Tottenham getting successful no matter what, manager in or out. That's my first. I said this to you before. Like, if any other manager was in the same situation that Ange was in these last couple of weeks, I'd have asked them to be sacked as well. No matter what manager it is, no matter how much heritage they've got of a manager in their history, if any manager puts Spurs in the same sort of situation, I'd be calling for their head. I'd be obviously not calling for their head, obviously, like literally saying go mad. But I mean, obviously, I'd be asking for the same performance level from this manager, any other manager as well. So it ain't me targeting Ange. It's just me obviously wanting success for this football club. But him obviously getting the confidence from Levy to speak to Tell and to talk this deal. Yeah, shows me that Levy wants him around for like more than the next couple of weeks.
Definitely,
because obviously shows you he's giving him the confidence to say, look, this deal's about to fall through. Can you resurrect this deal? If that's how it's happened, so that obviously shows he's got the confidence in that. It obviously shows he's backing us at least the end of the season.
And he basically said, "Here's $60 million for the player if you want him.
Yeah,
if you do want him, the money's here." So that's a big show of intent, and it's big backing, in my opinion.
It's not so much the intent obviously to sign the player because he really has to do that for any situation anyway. It's about him purposely. If Ange just had to come in and basically get this deal done, it shows to me Levy's got confidence enough in Ange to say, "All right, I want you to come in and take this deal because I'm not going to get over the line." Ange's got to sell the situation to them. Basically, I want you at this club. Basically, if he has to sell the situation to him, then Levy basically that shows me Levy's basically telling him you're around to the end of the season at least. So I'm giving you the confidence to take up the phone and try and tell to basically come until the end of the season at least. So basically, that shows me he's gonna. I basically look at Europa League now. Once he stays in that Europa League, I feel that's Levy's way of saving this season for both Spurs, but like for Spurs, because he win a trophy at the end of the day, and he can get us Champions League football, which everyone knows that Levy wants Champions League football, man. He needs
that scratch. He needs the cheddar, man.
He ain't gonna want to keep being up and sustainably like 2-3 years in a row. What it'd be now if he don't get into it. This is when it will start hitting him. Yeah, so he ain't gonna start wanting to do it every year, being up like so. Eventually, yeah. If Ange don't start getting Champions League football, yeah, it will start being under some scrutiny. So I'm looking at this season. I'm thinking, if Levy backing him, thinking he can save the season by winning the Europa League, and then he can go into the third season. And then we've got Champions League football still out of it as well. So I think the Europa League is going to play a big part if Ange keeps his job. If he wins a League Cup, then has an awful league season. Yeah, I don't know if that's going to be enough to keep his job.
The only thing I can think of is I know that he's publicly said, he's trying to change the mentality at Spurs. He's trying to, fix some fundamental problems within the club. And I think winning a trophy, any trophy, and Spurs.
To the sentimental Spurs fan, I think it's a sentimental Spurs fan. Like me, obviously, to me, that's great. That's great, yeah. But I'm looking at it from like one day Ramos, yeah. One day Ramos took over, like when this is a long time ago. But this is how Levy sort of starts things, yeah. He started derailing the league form after he won the League Cup in February. I think it was early March. I think it was 2008 when we won it, yeah. And then we finished 13th that season, but we knew we had Europe. It's basically when you win the cup, you got European football, isn't it?
Yeah. As
soon as February finishes, UEFA Cup's done. You got UEFA Cup no matter what. So Spurs sort of went on their like summer holidays from like March to like May. They got spanked. Remember, they got spanked 4-1 by Birmingham in like April that year. This is when Birmingham went down. And then Ramos's form went into the second half of the season and was awful. And that was that season where we were bottom of the league after 10 games with 2 points. And I look at it and I'm like, does Ange get enough credit in the bank if he wins this trophy? Because on the basis, I remember like the last 2 guys who won a trophy here have been sacked not that long after they won a trophy. Like even though George Graham got sort of sacked because Levy come in and they wanted like a Spurs guy in charge, Graham wasn't doing that bad of a job when he got sacked. And he still got sacked and he just won a trophy in 1999. And he's taken us to what, an FA Cup semi-final. And then we've become like a cup team under Graham again. And he actually like took us to like getting us decent in the cups, and he just got sacked out because they wanted to bring in a Spurs guy to get the Spurs fans on. Because they got Glenn Hoddle, didn't they? Obviously, Glenn Hoddle turned out to be. I don't like to shame like the Hoddles, but he wasn't a great manager for Spurs, man. He got to a cup final, but he wasn't a good manager, man. Like Hoddle's he's overrated as the manager in my eyes.
I can see that.
People in this country, a lot of
great
people in this
player.
country overrate him. Yeah, but obviously I'm going more for England as well. People overrate his England spell as well. Say he's a decent England. He was a right England manager, but he wasn't as good as people thought he was. So like people said, if Hoddle would have stayed England manager, England would have won something. I don't think they would have. So
should have, would have, could have. Those are hard to.
Yeah, it gets a bit overrated. He's one of them managers. He's so good technically as a player. If they can't do what you do on the training ground, you get a bit annoyed. That's why Henry ain't a good manager. Because Henry's such a good technical player. Like he tries to ask the players to do something on the pitch that he can still do now. They'll try and do it. They can't do it because you're trying to ask them to do something Henry can do.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Not everyone's blessed like Henry, or like the only person who can sort of like, you know what I mean? You've got to be like a special player and a special manager so they can go together like both. Like you only get like people like Birkenbauer in the past who could do both. Like even like it's Zidane obviously as well. But you can't really say Zidane's got. Yeah, Zidane's sample size is not enough for me to say he's a great coach. Though. I know he won 3 Champions Leagues, but
the teams that he won them with, he did. It's not like he took players. It's not like he improved specific individual players, in my opinion. That Real Madrid
team was special as well, but also a lot of his league form ain't that great, and he took too long out of football now for me to say, look, if you take too long out of football, like you don't get forgotten about, but it's like you get a bit exposed. If he comes back and then people just think he's going to go back to Zidane levels again, I'm not 100% sure about that. He's been out of the game for too long now, 3-4 years.
It's like I work in tech business, and you're constantly learning, and things are constantly changing. And if you take time off, you're going to be behind. You're going to be,
He's waiting for the France job. He's waiting for that France job, and he's been waiting too long for it. But
that would be a great job, though. That would be a wonderful job to have. To be totally fair.
I think Deschamps is leaving after the World Cup next year, so I think he'll get in next summer. I think that'd be a great fit,
man. I think that'd be a wonderful fit.
Yeah, his wife don't want to leave France or so. She don't want to come to England. That's one reason why she didn't move away. He never comes to an English club. She doesn't like England or something. She don't like the weather over here or so.
I can't blame her, I guess. Yeah,
exactly. I can't blame her.
hey, real quick. So, Audio Artisan, we're going to come to today's game. Obviously, the lineups that we're predicting and all that here in just a second. Audio Artisan wants to know, are Danso and Tell nice guys, or are they C words, as Mourinho would have put it? And he's pointing out that Danso broke Kylian Mbappe's nose. I hadn't heard about that. Danso's shoulder broke Mbappe's nose. Obviously, Danso didn't purposely go out and just break his nose, like smack him with like an elbow or like a headbutt or anything. I think Mbappe went up for a header, and I think he missed the ball. I think he's missed the ball, or Danso headed and won the ball. It's in the Euros, and then like Mbappe's like nose just smacked like right into the back of his shoulder. Broke his nose. So Danso is obviously built like a brick house, obviously, isn't it? Good. We can use that. And see, I don't know enough about him. Is he quick? Is he a fairly quick guy?
He's my Milton Keynes lad. The water's different every Milton Keynes, mate. That's what the saying is, isn't it? Because we keep producing special talents in the last 10, 15 years. So yeah. I don't know what I've been putting in the water in Milton Keynes the last 10, 15 years, man. I don't know if you see this. I don't know if you see this, but I got a beef with Milton Keynes. But Colin, I don't care about MK Dons. I'm not that sort of person, yeah. Like, okay. I'm a Spurs fan and like a Rangers fan, and like unfortunately I'm an England fan as well, because obviously it's my country. But like Milton Keynes Dons, I only used to watch them when I was a kid, when I used to have a season ticket when they were younger. They used to play at a hockey stadium. They used to play at a hockey stadium back in the day. Their first ever stadium of Keynes was basically it's pretty mad. Their first ever stadium, Milton Keynes, was like the national hockey stadium for England, and they used to use that as the stadium. And they basically rented another stand from the Watford, as like the full stand. And they had that as their stadium for like 3 or 4 years. So I used to go with my mate there a lot, and that's where I used to go. Like 2002.
Did they have to put sod down or something? Like how did they get the pitch? Like that's crazy.
Well, I'm trying to remember because I remember playing it when I was a kid in like '99. I went there when it was a hockey stadium, when it was a hockey pitch, and I played on it as a hockey when it was hockey. And I went a few years later, and then it was like an AstroTurf pitch. It was still AstroTurf, like hockey, but also used. And then they turned it into like a football pitch, like back 2003. So obviously they're like all grass and everything. But I played on it when it was hockey. And a few years later after that, it was actually used for the football stadium. And then they played there for a few years, and they moved to their new stadium, which is an eyesore, mate, because they have like a 30,000 stadium, and they get about 3,000 in it. It's embarrassing.
I bet it's a pretty nice place though. The new AFC Wimbledon is pretty nice too.
I worked at MK. I always worked there as a steward, so I worked there like twice, 2 different times. But I worked there a year when Angelo Flo played for Milton Keynes Dons, so I'm missing a penalty. I was stewards. I went there like semi-final playoffs and whatever. I worked there like 2 different seasons. So I stewarded at the Millwall end. The Millwall fans are quite nuts. And I had to steward the Millwall. I had to be like, I had to do the away end for one of the MK Dons games. It was the Millwall fans. So I always remember that experience. They're nuts, but they're not. They're more friendly than what people think they are.
They have a reputation. There's definitely a reputation of like.
I might have just caught them on the right day, I think.
Yeah, you didn't get beat up, so we're good.
Maybe because they won. I think if they didn't win, maybe they would have started ripping up chairs and throwing them onto the pitch like they usually do sometimes at away grounds.
Yeah, but, you hear rumors. Even little old me in Indiana, you hear the Millwall tales.
But a lot of people in Milton Keynes, man, don't take MK Dons seriously, man. We're like, oh man, I don't like having their name in front of the Dons, because as soon as I see them time they're losing, I see they're like in the League Two. I'm like, mate, they're shaming Milton Keynes, mate. What is going on?
That is kind of funny. Yeah.
Mate. So,
and all that history, weird stuff, man.
Think about AFC Wimbledon, though. Just get the AFC Wimbledon, though. They built up the club because obviously the fans didn't like him moving to Milton Keynes. I know all the story, yeah? Think of how crap MK Dons are for this to happen. They built up the club. They started all the way from the bottom leagues, yeah? MK Dons were in the championship, I think, when they basically rebranded all the name and everything, and when they basically gave all the history back to AFC Wimbledon. AFC Wimbledon have gone up all the way from the lower leagues to the point here where AFC Wimbledon are in the league above MK Dons. So MK Dons are actually in a lower league now here to a fan-owned football club. A fan-owned football club, AFC Wimbledon started off as a Phoenix football club here. That's what they basically call it over here. So the space of 10 or 15 years, they basically collapsed as a football club, rebranded and overtaken the club, who basically taken their name. So in a way, I find that funny as well. I don't care if it's Milton Keynes.
I think it's kind of inspiring in a way. You know what I mean? It's really cool that the fans have that much power and we're able to accomplish that. You know. And
a lot of English fans in the world will basically find it funny as well, because everyone looks at the MK Dons as a franchise club, man.
Yeah,
they are a franchise club.
They picked up and moved in order to get a new fan base. It's very reminiscent to what Arsenal did. Whenever they came into our territory.
Just get off. Just to say about last Milton Keynes person who played for Tottenham, didn't do too bad for a while. So let's hope that the other one has the impact he has. He ain't going to score 50 Premier League goals in like quick time, but obviously I wouldn't mind him being having an impact like Denny did straight away. Denny coming to the team straight away.
What a monster! I just remember that preseason match versus Real Madrid where he was just making everybody look like fools. That was incredible. What an incredible time. But yeah, so Ronnie's in the house. Big up Ronnie. We got Ronnie. We got Benny's in the house. Peter Kagaius. What is up, guys? Big up to all of you. It's 3 a.m. in Melbourne. Shit, Pete, you're up late. Buddy. You're probably working. But Ronnie, I just want to say, he said Spurs are on their way to Wembley. Tottenham's gonna do it again. They can't stop them. The boys from Tottenham. The boys from White Hart Lane. Yes, Ronnie, I'm excited, man. I can't wait. And I wanted to ask you. So we talked a little bit about this in the chat, you and me chatting together earlier. But who do you think starting defensively? And everybody watching, everybody in the chat, feel free to throw your answers in there too. Oh, and guys, don't forget to we've got a poll as well. I'd like to get everybody's opinion on the poll. But yeah, Dan, who do you see starting defensively? I was saying earlier that I personally think that we're going to stick with what we've been doing, which is Gray and Ben Davis. But then you've got Ange saying in the presser that Danso will play some. So yeah, I was just wondering who you thought would start. Who do you see in the in center defense?
Well, I think you say that earlier personally, weren't we? I think maybe he does go with Danzo because he goes with the more out and out centre back. But he could go with Gray and Davis because he went with them against Brentford and he done a decent job. And he might not want to change it too much in a big game. And he might not think Danzo, 72 hours of training. He might think that might be a bit too soon to chuck him in like a game at Anfield. So,
yeah, I don't think he's played in a match since January 12th. So he's almost a month out of having played competitively.
You're probably more going towards like if you're going to put. If one was more likely to start, I'd probably go as Danzo over Tell. I think Tell's probably more likely wants to start on the bench because I just don't have a feeling. I don't have a feeling they're both going to start for some reason. I could be wrong, but I just feel like maybe they signed a bit too like late to like have too many. I feel like he might just Tell off the bench and then start with Sonny on the left, with Charleston in the middle, and obviously thinking on the right, obviously Kuda on the right probably.
I hate that. I love Kulu in the midfield so much more, but he still makes himself useful on the wing. So I'm not too worried.
He started playing Kudu a bit more on the wing in the last few months ago.
I think out of necessity, though. You know what I mean? We've got more midfield players than we do wide players, especially. I think Brendan Johnson would be starting.
Yeah, Johnson's injured now as well, so basically he's had to situation where he's down to even less more options now on the right wing. But it's helped now with Tell because Tell can sort of play in front three.
Yeah.
He's pretty dynamic in what he does. Like a lot of people have been dissing Tell these last few weeks, last couple of days, saying about his stats, and I'm like, you've got to be one of these sort of people like me who like looks into the stats a bit more instead of just looking at the appearances and just saying, oh look, 60 goals, 60 games, 12 goals, and everyone just goes, oh, how many other games it is, 12 goals? You're like, that sounds really bad. That does. You're like, well, that's barely a 1 in 4 strike. And you're like, bloody hell. And you go and look, you're like, 15 games this season, no goals. And you're like, and you look at his starts, and you're like, right, the guy's barely played 200 minutes of football this season. 200 minutes of football, works out to be just over basically just under 2.5 games worth of a whole football match, if you think about it, And he's got 15 games this season. He's had 2 starts. So basically, So like, think about that, he basically played the start, probably lasted 60 minutes in each of them, and over the next 13 games, only had about 100 minutes worth of sub appearances. And people expect him to bang in 5 or 6. Like, he didn't get no tempo into a game. You're coming on for like, think about it. That means averaging. If you think averaging, that's working out to be he's coming on probably 82nd, 83rd minute. In most of his 5-minute games, he's come on when he's coming on as a sub. What can he really? So if he's not getting a goal in 7 or 8 minutes in these games, then he's not getting any goals. You know what I mean? It's quite hard. So like, I'm looking at it like that a bit as well. You actually go and look at his per goal per minutes ratio. It's not actually that bad. It's actually pretty decent. So like, people just go to stats and talk about if you look straight at the first picture, like, boom, he's crap because he only scored that amount of goals in that amount of games. And you're like, bruv, I mean, he's barely started 20 games in his career out of like 80 matches. About 60 of them are about sub. Load of them are sub appearances. Like 51 of them are sub appearances. So like, what? Any sort of tempo he can really get to like any purple patch in his career. How can he get any purple patch when he's getting new starts?
And I think that's how Ange got him to come here. We promised him some of those. You know, we promised him some more game time. He's going to get the chance to show himself to either. I mean, sadly, he'll either show himself to the point that Bayern want him back, or that's true. The only guy I can think of who's been hitting goals like coming off of sub appearances like in the last couple of seasons for a striker is Duran. He's the only guy who's come off the bench and can sort of like say that I'm a proper super sub over like the last season or so, where he still had decent numbers when getting like not great minutes. But like it's quite hard to hit like especially a purple patch as a striker. Especially a purple patch of a striker, you don't hardly get any minutes. And no disrespect like to him as well as a player, when you're playing behind probably one of the best forwards in world football. Like Bayern got like what was it like? So like he's very like that's no. Everyone says he's hardly getting any starts. Then it's because he's playing behind Harry Kane. It's like one of the most who's going to start over Harry Kane? If Harry Kane's fit, you know he's starting. So it's like, it's
the whole reason why it's the whole reason we used to struggle to get strikers when Kane was here. The no one wanted to place second choice to Kane because they were like, well, I'm playing behind basically the best striker in the world. The only way I'm getting in the team here is if you go 4-4-2, which a lot of teams don't do, put 2 up top, or if he gets an injury.
a bad
That's
one,
only
because we all
minutes.
know he'll play through a minor injury. That's just the way the guy is. So yeah,
I remember even though Morale ain't great and he was never like really great in the Premier League, there was a little period where he was pretty decent. And he said even he turned Spurs down because he said, I ain't going to get in front of Harry Kane. And that's like a proper senior striker for his country. He's played for Real Madrid, Juventus, some top clubs, yeah. And he was like, I don't even think I'm going to get in front of Harry Kane. So it's like it's a lot of that's what. So that stopped us from getting decent strikers for a few years as well, because they knew they were going to be second choice. But now we're in a situation now where Solanke's out for 3 or 4 weeks. We needed another number up top, so I'm really happy we got that player in.
So is Tell mostly a striker though, or is he? To me, he's got more of the, obviously, I'm just looking at a person, but he seems to have more of like the build of a winger. He doesn't seem to be like that type of. So Solanke's biggest attribute, in my opinion, is the fact that he can hold up the ball and he can bring other players into the game.
Yeah,
I don't think that's Tell. I don't think that's Tell's strong suit.
Yeah, I understand. I've been watching some video in the last couple of days though from like some French experts, French analyst people like Julian Laurence. Yeah. He's a massive French expert guy on ESPN. I don't even know who he is.
No, I never heard of him.
He's an ESPN guy. He's on that ESPN show. Like he's like a French expert guy. And he's talking about like Tell is perfect playing as a centre forward. He wants to be a centre forward in his career, yeah. And they see like the similarities from under 16s, under 17s level. They said there's been a lot of hype around this kid, yeah. When he was at Rennes and he went to Bayern Munich, they said that they see him more naturally as a centre forward. He sees himself more naturally as a centre forward. They said he can play across the whole front three, but they said to get the best out of Tell, they reckon to get the best out of his attributes, he's probably better playing as a centre forward. They said, yeah, because they said naturally, they said naturally that's going to be his position going forward. Because they said they see more for him. Obviously, they said there's a lot of hype around this kid though. Well, when I went obviously when I go to like when Spurs sign a player from like a board, I go to like see what a lot of players from like the press are saying from their country about this player. Yeah. To see like what they reckon about him in that country, and there's a lot of hype about this kid from France. They reckon he could be like a special player, but he had to take this move as well in a way, because if he wanted just to sit behind Harry Kane for like a year or 2 years at Bayern Munich, and then just get sub appearances again, he weren't going to really develop maybe as well. So like he probably could develop learning from Kane, obviously, but if you're not going to get any sustainable minutes on the period, you're going to be just drying out for the first 3-4 years of your career. Like, so taking this move at the Premier League as well showed me like mentality level as well. He sort of knows that Spurs need him as well in this situation as well. So he's like, I'll come in and I'll try and take off the mantle and try and take on this situation, because I know it's getting to a high pressure situation for you as well. So I respect that as well. People can say he turned us down first. Did he really turn us down, or did we just go there with a crap proposal probably first time around?
Yeah, and I mean, it's natural for a person, especially a young person. I mean, 19 years old, dude. I think of myself as a youngin' still. I'm 33, so God, I'm over a decade older than this guy.
And also the thing as well, you got to realize in football, things change in like 72 hours. Sometimes the player might not wants to go to that club. He just might think that like a special moves on the horizon. People have to realize this. Do people think we were going to sign? Do people think Van der Vaart wanted to sign for Spurs on deadline day? Van der Vaart woke up on deadline day like, yeah, I want to sign for Spurs. The move fell through at Bayern Munich. Yeah, he got offered the opportunity to go to Tottenham. Yeah? That's how we got Van der Vaart. It's not like some of these players don't start for the deadline day like, yeah, like my first 4 days I want to go to Tottenham Hotspur. Sometimes it just naturally happens towards the end of the window. Sometimes you get a play, you just have to take the opportunity. Like sometimes you might be rejected you 3 or 4 days earlier. And sometimes you just have to take the opportunity and sit and say, well, screw it. If he scores goals for this club, I don't care if we've rejected this club 3 or 4 days. At the end of the day, I just want him to make this club successful. He comes in and does a job for these 5-6 months, scores 10, 15 goals. That's all we really need from him.
Good God, that would be incredible.
I can play a massive part in trying to get us a trophy between now and the end of the season. Yeah. And that's what I obviously the League Cup's obviously the one we want. I want to win the European trophy more though, because I just want to feel like Europeans instead.
I'm greedy. I want more than one trophy, Dan. But hey, what's up? What is up, my brother Johnny? How are you, bud?
How you doing, Carl? How you doing, brother?
Doing good. I like the Godfather behind you too. Gangster, pretty gangster there.
That's the YouTube mafia behind me.
There you go. Dan left. He'll be back, I bet. But yeah, man, are you excited for the match today? I'm nervous as shit. I'll be totally honest. I was hardly able to sleep last night.
I'm quite positive about today, brother.
Good deal. Good deal. Yeah.
It's
So
only Liverpool.
it's only Liverpool. Exactly. Exactly. I was showing something and I showed it earlier. I'll pull it back up just to show you the absurdity of this, though. You know about the injury situation. Who doesn't? But I feel like seeing it really kind of makes a difference. So you see here, Trent Alexander-Arnold out for Liverpool, and then you see our beautiful injury list here. Brennan Johnson, Romero, Udogi, Solanke, Vicario, Madison, Vanderven, Dragerson, Ferner, and Odebear, all injured for us. You got to say, if we do manage to pull something out of this match, if we do manage to, go through to the next round, Ange has really done something here to get through with all of these injuries, with the teams that we've had to play. I think we've done an incredible job to get here.
He squeezed the life out of some of our players, and he squeezed some good quality out of them at the minute.
And I think it's good for the players. A lot of people complain, about, I'm getting off topic here, but about Gray playing out of position. Do you know how valuable those minutes are going to end up being for this kid? Like he's going to
be brilliant next season, isn't he?
Yeah, absolutely. Because even if we move him back to his preferred spot, as like a defensive midfielder or box to box or whatever we decide to do with him, I think the time spent playing in defense will help him. He'll understand his surroundings better. He'll understand what we expect out of our defenders, so that he'll know better what he needs to do to kind of help them do their job. I think it's great.
You're going on, Cole. That's a nice way of looking at it as well. It's rather than being negative and shit, you know what I mean? You've got to be positive about these young players.
If you're negative all the time, what the hell's the point of it? What's the point of life if you can't be positive?
Life's too short, brother.
Yeah, absolutely. But so for today's match, though, do you expect the new boys to get some minutes?
I expect is it Kevin Danzo that geezer?
I don't know. I don't even know. I
expect him to get some. I think he's going to get some minutes planned, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
I think he'll be in the back line. I don't know whether he'll start, but he might even start, Cole.
You think so? If he was going to start, would you start him with Gray or with Davis?
With Davis.
Probably Davis. Yeah, that's what I was going to say too. He's just got the experience.
Yeah. Might break a few noses, mightn't he?
Yeah, add a couple more to his list. There's a certain Mo Salah I wouldn't mind. No, I'm just kidding. I don't advocate violence. But if it happens, it happens. But yeah, I mean, and I think Tell might get some minutes too towards the end of the match. I think he could kind of be that super sub we need today, especially with how gassed everybody is going to be. But yeah, I mean,
it's one of those games, Cole, where it's one of those games where Ange is going to. You ain't got a clue what he's going to do out. Like tactics wise, you ain't got a clue who's going to play, and I think that'll play into our. I think that'd be quite good for us. It'll play for us. That will
definitely. Do you think that? I mean, and I don't, but it could. So in the Brentford match, it seemed like Ange was kind of more willing to deviate from his normal high line ultra attacking. We were a little more pragmatic. We sat back a little more. I wonder if that'll happen today. If we'll go for that draw, or if we're going to go for the straight up win.
I think Liverpool are going to come straight at us from the minute that they blow that whistle. They're going to come straight at us to try and equalise, aren't they?
Yep, absolutely. They're going to be pressing the absolute shit out of our defenders, our keeper, trying to make us make mistakes back there for sure. Absolutely. And I think I looked up some stats. Liverpool score like at least two goals every home match, so they've definitely got it in them to turn this tie around. We just have to make sure. But I think also at the same time, I think that we'll get chances. I think there'll be opportunities for us. So if we can just put our chances away. So we're looking at players like Kulu, and I mean, as much as I hate to say it because he hasn't been at it and he's becoming less and less of this player, but I think if Sonny, has a good game, that could be the difference as well. If we get an early goal somehow, game on.
If we're clinical off the break, Cole, I think we can take this game by the horns and bring it. But Anfield is going to be a really hard place to play against. Liverpool at Anfield is,
that 12th man is not a joke. That is a real thing.
No, not for Liverpool. They're pretty powerful.
Yeah. But I'm not. But like you said, I'm worried, but I'm mostly just excited. It's going to be a fun one, and I don't know how you feel. I just want to win a trophy this season. I don't care if it's. I mean, I would rather it be the Europa League trophy because Champions League next year would be a good thing. It would help us to bring in better quality players over the summer. But yeah, to me, it's just look, Leo's here. What's up, Leo? Boop. But yeah, I mean, it's just it's an opportunity at a trophy, and I think once we win a trophy, once this group of players can taste success together, I think it'll just breed more success.
Yeah, I don't mind. Then I wanted the Europe trophy, but I don't mind any trophy now. To be honest with you, just to shut everybody up and
then Ange can continue saying, "I win trophies in my second season."
Yeah, you know what I mean. Then he can shut everybody up, can't he?
Exactly. I would love that more than anything. And on Ange, I get why people don't like him. I get that. But I think I like him for a lot of the reasons that people don't. I like his stubbornness. I like the fact that he tells it like it is. I like the fact that he puts journalists kind of in their place. I know a lot of people think that he's got an attitude, like that he's, too quiet during matches. There's all these complaints, but I love the guy, and I would love nothing more than to see him succeed. And I think he could do it, man. I think he could do it.
Do you know what? I love his charisma, and I love the way he treats the media. He treats the media with the contempt that they deserve.
Well, that they treat him with, or any manager that's struggling, they come straight for the throat with those questions. And like I saw in his press conference before this match, they had said something like, "So you're aware? I'm sure you're aware of the fans' growing desire to win a trophy or something like that." And he goes, "Oh, I had no idea, mate. Love it, love it."
He just shuts them up, doesn't he? You can't really. He's great. He's great at a press conference. He's great at handling people, and he's great at handling the team. Everybody slaughters him, but he's picked them boys up from all those losses to give us a positive attitude. You can't go wrong, can you? You need someone like that, especially after all the shit managers we've had all through the fucking years.
Yeah, and the fact that these players have seemed so mentally weak, and we've got who appears to me one of the toughest managers mentally, that we've had in a long time.
Yeah, definitely. He was. I'll give Conte his due. He had a lot of problems. You know what I mean?
Personal stuff too. Oh God, with the losses and the
three friends he lost, didn't he, during when he was at Spurs? That's a lot to put up with, and it's nice to get someone with a bit of mental strength, a bit of nous, a bit of
some balls, man. Just
cojones.
Some big old balls. Yeah,
some big old cojones on him, man. Good.
I would love nothing more than to see him win a trophy. It would be incredible, and I don't think it's impossible. Like we're still in these three competitions. Liverpool aren't an unbeatable team. I think it would say a lot about Spurs. I think it would put us in a really cool conversation if we managed to beat them today outright. Like not, I don't want it to go to penalties. I don't want any of that. I just want
3-1.
1-0, anything, man. Just a win in 90 minutes. I would be over the moon.
I'm more worried about the Aston Villa game, Cole.
Yeah, Aston Villa are a good team, coached very, very well. Well.
I'm more worried about that game just because we're going to play this game, we're going to tire our boys out, and then we've got to play the next game.
I think Van de Ven should be fit for the
Aston Villa game, Cole. I'm going to be excited and I'm going to be wanting to win.
We have to get behind the team. We have to. I think honestly, and people will think that I'm maybe naive for this because we're not interacting with the players, we're not talking with them. But I think when the fan base as a whole is overly negative, the players can feel that. They get on social media. We're fools. These guys are kids. Kids get on social media all the time. Yeah. So they're on there. They're probably on Reddit and Twitter and reading all of this shit people say about them. It's never great. I think that honestly, getting behind the team,
man. Do you know what, Cole? I hope they don't watch YouTube.
Yeah, me too.
I hope they just stay off the social media before these games. It's I agree with you, Cole. Positivity, man. You're a fan, not a critic. It's time
I'm not a coach. I'm not a manager. I'm not. You know what I mean? I'm just a guy that likes watching my team and would get behind them for anything. So
that's it, Cole, man.
And what I've loved about Tottenham since I started becoming a supporter was just that Tottenham could win any game. They could also lose any game. But that's great, and I think that's the beauty of it. Exactly. We don't have to be Man City where if we lose a game, it's the end of the world. We don't have to be, obviously you never want to lose, but I just really like what Spurs stand for. I like, the way they're going about things. And I guess I'm a little bit of a sucker for an underdog, but who's not, right? Who doesn't love a bit of an underdog story?
I love an underdog, Cole.
And when they win,
life, isn't it? When you see the underdog win.
Yeah, exactly, man. And we all deserve it as fans. We've all put up with a lot. We've all I think, but also that's a weird trap to get into, to say we deserve it. What about all these other teams that haven't won trophies? What about Newcastle, who haven't won since the 50s? What about, you know what I mean? Like, do what?
Who? Newcastle? Who?
Oh, I'm just saying, so many clubs haven't won trophies in a long time. And Spurs.
FM, Cole. Don't worry about the others.
True, that's true. But I'm just saying, it's weird how we act like sometimes that we deserve trophies when other teams, I mean, why don't they? I just feel like the fan base sometimes needs to be a bit more realistic about expectations. I don't know if you feel that same way, but
do you know what, Cole? I feel exactly the same way as you, brother. There's not much I don't feel different, Cole. As you know, we probably think along the same lines a lot of the time. So, yeah, I totally agree with you.
It's nice. It's nice to have somebody that's on the same page on the show. I appreciate you jumping in today, man. But yeah. So back to the match. I keep getting away from it because I want it to just start right now if it could. Like, let's just get into it. I'm so nervous.
I've got to cook dinners and everything yet, man.
Oh man, let us know. What are you cooking? What are you cooking today?
I've got chicken and chips today. A nice easy meal.
Delicious. It sounds real good though, man. It sounds
nothing special. Just a nice chicken and chips and loads of tomato sauce.
There you go, man. No, that sounds lovely. I'm excited for the match. No beers for me. Haven't had any beers or alcohol in 38 days. So, whoop! You got to start somewhere. Man.
Yeah, brother.
So
38 days is cool, man.
Yeah, and it feels good.
I'm so pleased, Cole. 38 days, man.
Thanks, dude.
I think I'm about 10 months and about 5 days, 16 hours, and 3 minutes from having a spliff.
You're doing great, man. Crazy. It's crazy. It feels good to be in your right mind and, to not be foggy. It's good stuff. So about today's match, who do you fear most from Liverpool? Who's their player that we've got to watch out for the most? Obviously, Salah's a beast. He's kind of got the Son thing where he's getting a little older, but he still manages to find a way to be effective. Is he the danger man?
Little Mo. That's the man I fear the most. One of the Stooges, Little Mo. You know what I'm saying?
Where's Curly and Mo, Curly, and what's the other one?
He did used to be Curly. He could be all three together, wouldn't he? Curly, Little Mo.
Oh man, good stuff.
Yeah, that's the player I fear the most. And the one that's what's his name? The one that's injured.
Trent Alexander-Arnold.
Yeah.
He's a good player. He's weirdly like on and off though. Like sometimes
he's a dodgy little player though, isn't he? He gets them niggly little passes or.
Yeah, no, he's definitely talented. Can thread the ball, make some great passes, great crosses. He's one of the best crossers of the ball that I could think of, actually. Yeah, definitely a good player. And I'm glad that we're not playing against him today. Not that they don't have talent everywhere else on the pitch, though.
I'm just hoping we can keep them in their pocket, like in our pocket. Sorry, you know what I mean? Because we tend the last time we played them, we looked like we had them in our pocket, didn't we? A lot of their good players, so.
Yeah, no, we absolutely did. And I'm hoping that if Danso plays today, maybe he'll be finding Mo Salah in his pocket later on tonight.
Oh, broken nose.
Exactly. I love that. Just a tough. We just need tough, hard dudes. Someone was saying in the comments, I think you would think this is funny. This was a little bit ago, but you remember how Jose Mourinho wanted us to be intelligent, see you next Tuesdays. Remember, that's how he'd always say he wanted us. So Audio Artisan asks if we think that Donzo and Tell, are they nice guys or are they C words? And Quez said he was hoping for some C words on the pitch. On the pitch.
I hope they're nice to see you next Tuesdays. That's what I hope.
Yeah, I want him. I mean, if they want to get in some trouble, rile some people up, I love a bit of shithousing, and that's why I think that that he'll definitely why can't I think of his name? Richarlison. Richarlison will definitely be important today.
When you said shithousery,
comes right to mind.
Richarlison, yeah, he's a professional shithousery.
He took over for Lamella when Lamella had to go. He was like, you know what? I'll do this. I'll take it. I'll take it on.
He's lovely to watch when he winds them up.
Oh yeah, absolutely, and we'll need it today. I think especially Liverpool at home. If he can upset their fans, oh my God, that would be lovely. So question,
especially if he gets a goal, Cole, I'd love him to get a goal tonight.
Especially as an ex Everton guy, he's got that. There's definitely some history. Yeah, for sure, man.
You hit the nail on the head.
And it'll probably be a headed goal just because that's the way he's been doing it lately. Gotta love him.
He's got a little peanut head, but he gets them balls in with his head, doesn't he?
Yeah, he's just not afraid to swing it in there. I think like he's just like, oh, danger. Oh well, I'll put my head in there. We'll see what happens.
Thick as shit.
Oh, smash into the pole. That's good. No worries.
Yeah,
in the upright, I'm fine. He's a tough dude, and I really hope we can keep him fit. The question is today: do we play him as a striker? I think that's the only option. I think the only option is to have him as a striker, Sonny on the left and Kulu on the right, and then we sub Tell in wherever because he can play in any of those spots. So we bring Tell in, and I think it'll probably be on the left for Sonny if I had it my way, But we'll have to see. See.
Let's hope that Sonny's nice and fit for today and not that worn out Sonny that we've been seeing. I think Anfield will bring out the best in him, to be honest with you.
Yeah, he'll definitely he wants to show that he can still have that same involvement and the same productivity and stuff as last year. He wants to show that. We in against Elfsborg, I think he could sense that he was up against players of a lot lower difficulty and he was really giving it his all. He was trying to take players on.
That was quite funny, wasn't it?
Yeah, everyone's like, Sonny's back. And I'm like, well, think about who we're playing, please. But Ronnie's in the house, and he's saying that he thinks it's going to be Kinski in the back, which I agree completely. Poro, Danso, and Davies. So he's starting Danso. Spence on the left, Basuma, Bentancur, and Bergvall in the middle, and then Sun, Tell, Kulu up top. So he's leaving Richarlison on the bench with this starting lineup. But I think that's good. That midfield's strong, and we're going to need that strength today for sure.
Look, Cole. We're getting questions now, Cole. Should we answer the audible questions?
Yeah, of course we should. What do we got here? Johnny, so you say you don't like non-Spurs fans and Spurs chats. Is it all right if I'm here, Giza? Oh, shit.
No, I didn't say that. You're paraphrasing me. I said I don't understand why other football teams come into Spurs chat and chat shit about Spurs.
Oh, but Ronnie's good people.
That was a paraphrase and a half, wasn't it, really?
And then we got Audio Artisan saying, I can see Tell coming on up front for Richie and Moore coming on for Son on the left. That would be great, man. I would love to see that.
Yeah.
At this point, Moore is a more dynamic player. I think Moore is a more dynamic player than Sonny is at this point.
Yeah, you know what?
Sad to say.
I really like Moore. I reckon if you put him on a stage, like a proper stage, like a Liverpool game, 30 minutes to go, I reckon he could just knock that equaliser in or knock the winning goal in. He's got that positive mental winning attitude.
Yeah. A lot of these youngsters do, man. And I'm really impressed by that. They're really – it's been a thing at Spurs where the youngsters have constantly – or not constantly, but, consistently shown up and been able to contribute and help. And it's because they believe in themselves. They want more game time. They want to continue being part of this team. And so they'll really put everything on the line. And like you said, they believe in themselves, and it's a beautiful thing. I love it. And you're right.
Oh, I feel like I'm bare. I've not got an hat on. And you've got an hat on, brother.
You got to find one. Johnny's got to get a hat.
I ain't got to find one, brother.
Hell yeah.
We put the old Basque beret on.
I love it. But yeah, man, I'm hyped about this game. I think it's going to be a good one. God, have you seen the? I don't know if anybody out there likes to put a little bet on a game, but holy shit! If you look at the odds for Spurs, if you want to make some money or want to try to throw a $5 on Spurs to win today, just outright, holy smokes!
I've not even looked at the odds, Carl. What's the odds? Are they like 1-1?
I don't know how it like we do it differently over here, but it's like plus. Let me look at it. But anyway, so I put in a bet of $20 and I get back 230 if Spurs win.
Nice.
So, and I also put a little safety bet for a tie to win my money back.
So we'll go around to your ass for a cheeky little.
Yeah, I'll take everybody out for dinner or something. Yeah, exactly.
I'll have an orange juice with you, brother.
Boom, there we go. Coca-Cola for me. No, Dr. Pepper. Dr. Pepper, I think.
Oh, man. Have you had the new Dr. Pepper?
Shit, there's a new Dr. Pepper. Hold the phone.
Well, there isn't. We've got the Cherry Valentine Dr. Pepper over here at the minute.
Ooh, I haven't seen that at stores here. You might have to.
And it turns your lips red.
Holy shit. Beautiful.
Yeah, man.
So you don't have to wear lipstick, right? They're taking over the lipstick game now. You don't even.
I see. I can look just like all the other kids look in UK. With nice, shiny boy red lips.
Like Boy George. He was British, right? I think.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. Carmen Chameleon and all that shit. Pete says, this is what Ange does. He gives them belief in their ability. Hell yeah. Pete, good to see you, man. Pete, I haven't talked to you on the phone in a couple of days. I'll probably give you a call after the show. Make sure you're doing okay. Just want to say Pete is a good guy, everybody. He's a paramedic. He's doing the Lord's work, making sure he's keeping everybody safe. That is not an easy job, so we appreciate you.
Just don't do reverse call to Pete. He's like in Australia, Cole. It cost you a fortune.
Oh, see, we're WhatsApping it, so it's free.
Sweet.
Yeah. Leo saying, can Bergvall go the whole game without getting a card? Does it matter if he gets a yellow card?
I don't care. Do you know what? I'm waiting for him to be sent off for one of his little mad tackles that he does, or his little mad pulls. It'd be quite funny.
Yeah, I think he's a great player, though. He's a player that's really
passion in him, isn't he? I love a player with passion.
Same here. I think him and Gray are going to be absolute monsters, in totally different ways. They're very different players, but I think they complement each other very nicely. And I think in a midfield, the two of them together could be some of the glue that holds everybody, holds the team, holds the spine of the team together.
You know what? I think he's been holding that midfield together a lot.
Yeah, he definitely goes under the radar a bit. We got Nick in the house, but his camera is off, everybody. If it comes back on and he's nude, we'll have to close him out quick. We don't know about this Nick.
We could always get all undressed together, Cole. Just have a nude show.
There you go. Yeah, I'm sure YouTube wouldn't mind. I don't know. I wonder if guys can take off their. I wonder if guys can take off their shirts, or if that's illegal. We'll find out. Audio Artisan says Spurs 901 on Sky Bet. That's about what I'm getting too. So yeah. What's up? What's up, Nick?
Hey, having technical difficulties.
Good afternoon, my brother.
How are you, bub?
Yeah, I'm sweet, Nick.
Good, man. Good. Congrats on your what would you say, 32 days?
Yeah, 37 days or something like that.
Hell yeah, man.
38 days, Cole. Fucking hell, I've got to keep counting for you, man.
Sorry, yeah, I kind of quit counting, and then I got to think back on it every once in a while. But yeah, dude, I'm doing really good, man.
I'm coming up on a year.
That's incredible.
Yeah, happy anniversary, everybody.
Drinking's hard. It's just because everyone in the whole world's doing it. You go anywhere. Yeah. Hey, you want a beer? Hey, and then when you say no, they're like, "Oh," it's almost like you're being rude when you turn it down. And it's like, "No, I just don't want it." So, but yeah, enough of that talk. Everyone in the chat's like, "All right, yeah, you guys are alkies. We get it." But yeah, Destiny 5 is saying that Peter is a legend. And he is 100% right. I just want to one more time big up Peter Kagaias and also my good homie Chris Peters, if he's still here. I always got to throw it out. Chris Peters was like my first subscriber. He was the first person to like support the channel. So
he's the nicest person, Chris Peters. When I've been on a chat, he just puts your link in all the time.
Yep.
So lovely. Never anything negative to say. Beautiful person.
Beautiful family. He's a good dude. Good dad. Good guy. So big up to Chris Peters. But yeah, so who do we fear the most against Liverpool today? Nobody.
Nobody.
I'm trying to think. I want to look up and see if I can find like a presumed like starting lineup, because I just don't even remember who they've got. Honestly, holding down their midfield.
No, they've got loads of youngsters, haven't they?
Yeah, I was gonna say most of the players that I remember are gone.
Yeah, same here, Cole. I don't really take the notice of other teams no more.
Same. But I'm still gonna see who started their last match just for funsies. Just for fun. Just to
see what Danzo can do.
I'm excited. Do you think he's going to start, Nick, or no?
Who knows, man? Ange has some balls, man. Who knows?
So Zabislai, I forgot about him. McAllister and then Gravenberch were the three in their midfield.
Yeah.
Last time they played kind of a 2. It looks like with McAllister and Gravenberch with Zabislai in the 10.
I like McAllister, to be honest with you.
I do too. I can't believe he's Argentinian with that last name.
That's crazy, isn't it?
When I first heard it, I was like, no fucking way.
It's crazy.
Yeah, sure is, man.
I wonder where he got the name from.
Yeah, one of his parents is clearly not from Argentina. I think you could say pretty safely.
He don't even look Scotch. You look more Scotch than he does, Cole.
Yeah, it's a weird one. It's a weird one. But Nick, do you have any players you're particularly worried about today that us going up against? I mean, Salah's always Salah. You know, he's always liable to score a goal out of nothing. But are there any other players that are Virgil van Dijk?
I mean, yeah, he's one of the best in the world. So you got him and Salah. I mean, everybody else, I think we can pretty much deal with. I think it'll be all right. But those two, I mean, don't get me, their team is chocked full of talent, but those two right there are the only two that I would really want to concentrate on or really worry about.
Yeah.
Am I cutting in and out?
No, you sound great, dude. You sound great.
Well,
and it looks like Salah started on the right, so he would be up against Spence today, most likely. That makes me feel better about it, to be honest. I think Spence has shown that he is an absolute. I mean, he's a dream. We're so lucky to have this kid, and we're also so lucky that he still wants to be here after all of this shit that he went through. I might have pushed her a move away if I was that kid.
I'd have been gone after Conte.
Yeah, I'd have been like, well,
I'd have been, see you later.
Yeah.
I ain't playing here no more.
But he must be getting a decent wage, I guess. First of all, too, you got to consider that. And the Premier League's got some prestige, so I think he might have just been biding his time, and it worked out. It worked out great. I wouldn't be upset once we get Destiny back to see him get some games on the right and let Poro have a rest.
Yeah.
You like you, doggy. I can't stand you, doggy.
Really? I liked him a lot in his first season. When he first came over, I thought he was something really special. And then, I mean, he's been less and less effective. It seems like I don't really know what we're doing with our fullbacks these days. It used to be they always inverted, always. And now we're seeing less and less of that. And Udogie seems to kind of try to pull wide and keep some width on the pitch. That's one thing I like about him.
I'm not a Udogie fan at all.
Really? What about him?
He just pisses me off as a player.
Loses the ball a lot.
When you think to yourself, I can see so much more in you, and that you don't seem to do it on the pitch for me.
That is frustrating.
You know, when you look at Spence, compare the two of them, you see a boy playing his art out, and you see the other one just not really bothering.
He's quick, he's strong, he's young. I think he's still got it in him to be a real top player. How do you feel about Destiny, Nick?
I think he needs to be better on the ball. Other than that, if he had ball skills that Spence does, then he would be unreal because he's big and physical and strong and he's fast. But he makes these stupid mistakes whenever he gets on the ball, and it's just super frustrating. Sometimes his passes just I want to jump through the screen and strangle him.
Yeah, directly to an opponent's feet.
What are you doing, man?
Yeah, absolutely. a lot of times I think too, these players have this thing. You've seen it lately. I'm sure you have. I have, with this cool like one touch football that we're playing a lot of quick flicks, a lot of quick passes into just an area where a player should be, and they are. And it's worked out really well, but it does seem like maybe Destiny hasn't been on the same page. He hasn't been quite as like clued in to that whole thing as everybody else. And that could be due to, lack of playing time, just being injured, normal stuff. So hopefully he comes back strong. But I have really seen an improvement in the way that we're playing and the way that we're progressing the ball up the pitch. We kick it out wide a lot and then do those little 1-2s, little flicks. I mean, it's really, really cool watching this all come together. And what I like about it is it's slightly different from what I'll admit that I'm not like a scholar. I didn't watch every single, match that he coached at Celtic, but it looks like the football is different now here than what he was playing there. And to everybody that was saying he couldn't adapt, I'm just like, well, look, clearly he's adapting. We're playing a completely different game.
He's not just tweaking, he's adapting.
And he's no fool. He's no fool. I don't know why everyone has to tries to act like that he's an idiot or that they're smarter than him or that, you know what I mean, that they don't think that he can see things. It's like the man is right there. he's
the one on £3 million a year, Cole.
Yeah. And I'm the one on $40,000, for $40,000 a year. There's a reason there's a difference.
Don't tell the IRS, Cole.
Oh, it's true. That's true. They're not watching. Don't worry. But no, I feel like I'm making a lot of money with that, and he's on $3 million. But anyway, So Ange has shown. I don't know. I think Ange has shown that he's got what it takes to be here long term, and I think that the way the team is not the team, but the team of Levy and co are acting and are getting players for him. I think that it's in their plans for him to stay too.
Something just feels different, like with how they're acting, specifically with him, especially like where we are in the league. Like I understand we're still in a lot of comps, but it just the pattern, the Levy pattern is different. It feels different right now, and I'm still not a fan of him, but like. I'm glad he's sticking with something, even if it's, not working right now. I'll stick with something because you keep changing, managers around and changing stylistically every freaking time. You're not going to get any kind of cohesive unit built from top to bottom. It's just not going to happen. And
starting to feel good, isn't it, Nick?
It's starting to feel a lot more solid, but
And we've got players coming in that fit the system, and I don't feel like we have to worry about whether or not they're going to fit the next manager's system. That's always was a fear of mine. We'd spend big on a player, we'd get an Ndombele, and then it's like the next manager is like, I don't really want them, and it puts us in a bad spot. And I think that's part of why Levy has been so gun shy when it comes to pulling the trigger on big transfers, is that he doesn't know whether the next guy is going to want him. And so if we've got somebody that's consistently going to be here, as much as Daniel Levy pisses me off, as much as I think that the club might be better in somebody else's hands, I'm glad that they're at least showing the willingness to back him. The $60 million they're potentially spending on this 19-year-old on Tell it's very telling. The money on Tell is very telling, and I'm just happy. I'm really happy with the way things are going. Obviously, a loss today would be a real kick in the nuts. And I'd deflate and I'd have a bad day. But we got to keep our eyes on the prize, on the bigger picture, and also a win today is absolutely possible. We can definitely make it happen. And
we don't even have to win. We just have to draw to pass.
Exactly.
I mean, that's the one the one good thing that's kind of keeping me not necessarily positive, but keeping me hopeful that we legit can do this. Like we can draw with Liverpool. We
can beat them. I mean, it's literally not impossible. And they're going to come out and like like Ange said, they're going to be just as stressed, just as worried, just as like this is just as big of a event for them as it is for us. And they're the ones that have to come and do something. I mean, we could part guys literally on the goal line. We could just line up our entire team in front of the goal and just block it completely with players across.
Yeah, I'm glad they're the ones under pressure tonight at Anfield. Normally it's them piling on the pressure on other people, and it's them that's got to perform tonight, and we've just got to sit back and just take it easy.
Play our game.
Play our game properly and be calm.
Yeah.
Go and sub to Nick's channel. He keeps me sane.
Thank you.
Keeps me sane during the little shit fucking half hours I have. I'll go and watch Nick. And it just keeps me sane.
Good people.
I've been slacking lately though.
Yeah, you have, Nick. To be
I
honest
had been. I'm trying to do more content. It's hard. Like it gets life can get pretty busy at times. But Boris is in the house. What's up, Boris? Boris saying only way I see him staying a third season, Ange, is getting 10th at minimum and getting a trophy or two at said time. I think if we get the Europa League trophy, I don't care where he finishes. I'm pretty sure they're going to keep him. But if it is domestic trophies and not Europa League, then I think that you're right. He probably needs them both and to get us as high up as possible in the table. But I do think that getting a trophy at all right now might be enough to keep him. And then Boris is also saying, I said it wasn't impossible to beat Liverpool. Boris says it isn't impossible, but we've only beat them one time since 1999.
Yeah.
Drew 7 and then lost 19 at Anfield. Shit, dog. But hey, if there's anything I like, it's breaking a record. Remember Clint Dempsey scored the goal to get us our first win at Old Trafford in 30 years or something. And we could do it today. Why not? I just feel like
Liverpool. It's no one special. It's only Liverpool.
Exactly. They don't even have Big Teeth Man anymore.
No, that's it, man. He's positive, though, isn't he? He's giving us some positive vibe, this Boris.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, Boris. Love you, Boris. Love you.
Cheers, Boris, for that. Yeah, bro.
Absolutely. I've asked these questions already, but I haven't got a super straight answer from you, Nick. Do you think that who do you think we'll see starting in defense? Center backs wise, my bad. Because I know fullbacks pretty much what we're looking at there.
Yeah, I honestly I think it's going to be Davis and Gray.
That's what I'm thinking, man. I really am too. Just because they've been building some cohesiveness. I've heard in interviews that Gray says all he does is listen to what Davis tells him. That he doesn't act at all. That Davis directs him the entire time, and he takes the direction without a second thought. He does exactly what he tells him, and it's been working. And I love that.
Davis is awesome. A coach on the field, man.
His football IQ is absolutely insane.
He's also what is he?
Thanks for jumping in, Leo. Appreciate you. Have fun at work, buddy.
See you, buddy. He's working his way up the coaching the coaching certification ladder too.
Sweet. I hope he sticks around Spurs. That'd be awesome, man.
I mean, the thing is the developing the youth in order to legitimately use them is going to be key in order to get up, in order to break into that top 4, top 3 and stay there. Developing that is what's gonna take us to that level. And somebody like Davis, I was sad when Defoe left, but Davis, like if he could step in there and do that. I mean, what is he, 32, 33, something like that?
I think me and him are the same age. I think he's 33. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. God, man, yeah. Is
that the same age as when Jesus died? 33.
Shit, I better make it past this age. I don't want to. Yeah, none of that for me, please.
Let's retire him in that quick.
Look at this though. Boris' starting 11 is different than almost everybody's I've seen, and he's kind of put another comment in there to justify it. But he said that his center back pairing would be Danso and Gray, which is wild to me. Just because I would have thought, and no hate, no disrespect, I would have just thought that Davis would be, it would be imperative to have Davis in there for his experience. But and then he says he would have a front 3 of Kulu, Son, and Tell. And then he says, because Liverpool will try and get us at set pieces and Danzo is strong in the air and will knock them out. So it keeps pressure off our keeper. That's a really good point. He does offer some physicality that neither Gray nor Davies offer. So that is a good point. It's a real good point.
I also think, like, if you start Gray and Davis, then at some point you can bring Danzo on with his speed and physicality later on once they're already tired, and then move Gray up to the 6.
Not a bad plan. Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, that's another thing. Plus then you essentially are going to have 3 center backs at that point.
Yeah, no, not a bad plan at all. I like it.
I'm not a genius tactician, but that's that's what my simple mind would do.
I like it. No, I like it, man. I'm just so now the only real. So we know Danzo's going to get some minutes out. That was even. I mean, Ange has said as much. So we know he'll get some minutes today. The big question is Tell and whether or not we're going to see him start, whether he'll come off of the bench and try to get at some tired legs. I know he hasn't played competitively since like January 12th or 13th or something like that. So like a month almost. But he has been training. He has been, it's not like he's just been sitting around. But yeah, would you start? I mean, I think in this match, I think we're going to need somebody that's capable of holding up the ball a bit. And I know that that's not maybe Richarlison's strongest attribute, but I do think he's capable, more capable than Sonny, more capable probably than Tell. So I think that starting Richarlison is a good idea. I think Tell coming off the bench is probably the best. That's what I would do at least. Bring them on.
You can't start these new players straight in at Anfield, can you?
I mean, it wouldn't surprise me. He's done similar things. Kinski threw him straight in. Van de Ven started against. I can't remember who Van de Ven's first match was against, but I think it was also a pretty big, pretty high-profile match.
It was early, yeah.
Audio's asking if we've spoken to Radu's brother since his injury. No, actually, but I ought to hit him up on Instagram. He's super responsive. That's the cool thing about that guy. Alex Dragishin, super, super cool guy, super responsive.
I think Radu's gone to work in the kebab shop,
He might have just on his off time, help his brother out. Yeah, absolutely.
Just to get his salary back in.
I love it. He's probably just taking time off to eat some kebab and smash burgers, man. He's enjoying the food while he's off.
Do you know what? I've watched his brother's food channel, like quite a few of his food videos. He does make you hungry.
Yeah. No, and he's a really cool guy too. I don't know. I'm sure you guys saw like the interview or whatever that we did, or the little question, the talk that we had with him. Super nice guy, super cool. And look at this. Audio's pointing out that he debuted BJ against Arsenal. So, Ange could do it. He absolutely could do it. I just don't think Tell's got it in his legs to play the whole match. And I would rather sub him in as, an option later than start him out at the beginning. But that's just me. I would also, if I had the option, and I know we don't right now, but I would start Son on the bench and do the same thing with Son.
That's quite a funny comment, Cole.
Why?
Ange debuted BJ.
Oh, yeah.
What's your mind, man?
I had a shirt made. So I have like this store, and I haven't been posting the link. I haven't made any new shirts in a while, but one that I made has Brennan on it, and it says, "I heart a good BJ." I thought that was a pretty sick shirt. I thought, that could be pretty funny. And now I'm making some Levy out shirts, some Levy Enoch out shirts. And my plan with those is, I'm going to sell them. And then all the profits I get back from those, I'm going to buy more of the shirts and then give them to people so they can give them out at protests and stuff.
What you're supposed to do is make profit and put the money in your pocket, brother.
Nah. That's what regular jobs for. YouTube money that's just for doing cool, fun stuff. But Boris says it's sink or swim in these big profile matches. They show if they can keep up with the team, because I know how aggressive Danzo is and how strong he is. Doesn't have the speed of Mickey, but no one does. Hell yeah, that is absolutely correct, Boris. But he says he still has a lot of speed.
He's pretty damn fast.
I'm sold.
I was watching some stuff on him, and his closing speed was pretty on point. I mean, nobody's Van de Ven, nobody.
Right.
But
even Van de Ven, I don't think will be Van de Ven very much longer. We got to start talking about his recurring hamstring injury, and this is like
Ledley, bro.
It's like the 6th injury he's had with that hamstring, I think, during his entire career. And not a good look, not a good thing. We might not be seeing him as the exact same player just to make sure that he keeps himself fit. Things might have to be adjusted. We might have to not ask so much of him on those recovery runs.
I don't think it was. I think he's been having those injuries quite a while, even before he come to Tottenham, hasn't he?
Yes, sir. Yeah, so we can't blame that one on the physios.
He needs to have that surgery that Sessegnon had, that supposedly like fixes that. I don't know if it's fixed it with Sess yet, but I know it's been successful with others in the past that have persistent hamstring issues.
Interesting. I wonder what type of surgery it is. If they're like repairing, like actually like trying to like repair muscle, or
I don't know, man. Most of those terms are over my head, so I'm kind of. But I just know, like, it's kind of like it's the Tommy John's version of hamstring. Like, running backs in the NFL have had it before, and things like that.
And those guys, man, the stress that they put on themselves during those sprints are crazy.
Yeah.
So
their legs are the size of my torso.
Right, tree trunk legs, some Moussa Dembele legs out there. But yeah, guys, I got to go to work soon, unfortunately. But I will be watching the match, and if you guys need a place to watch it, please let me know. I could probably help you out. And then, guys, it's just about that time. Can I get y'all's score predictions for today? And everyone in the chat, if you don't mind throwing in the score prediction, and I'll also read off the results of the poll in a second too. But we'll start with Nick, since you're the newest one in. What's your prediction for tonight, buddy?
I'm gonna go with the Daigle 2-2.
Hell yeah, Brian Daigle, big up to you, sir. You've coined that term. It'll live on in infamy. It's always a Brian Daigle.
Love that dude.
So we got a 2-2, a Desmond, a Daigle.
A Desmond. Desmond. Say it the Cockney way. The Desmond.
Desmond. All right. Sorry, bro.
Yep.
Oh, a Daigle.
And then what have you got to say though, my friend, Mr. Bethnal Green?
Mr. Bethnal Green says 2-0.
All right.
To Tottenham.
Tottenham. There we go. I'll take that.
Tottenham United. Oh no, sorry, Tottenham Football Club. I don't know what I'm doing, Carl. Maybe I don't support Tottenham really.
We support a hotel conglomerate or whatever.
Yeah,
we're gonna do to Liverpool what Newcastle did to Arsenal. Is that what you're saying?
Absolutely.
You completely shut them out.
I loved that game last night.
Me too.
Man, me too.
It made me so happy.
I had a smile on my face the whole rest of the day. That was awesome. I loved it.
Real quick, Ryan said that Van de Ven has been having the injuries at Wolfsburg, but they've become more frequent since he's come to Spurs. He's pretty sure. That makes sense.
No, that's
only going to get worse.
True. That's not actually true.
It's not?
No, it's not actually true. He's been having hamstring problems all his life.
Anybody who sprints like that's going to have hamstring problems.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just. I think it's just.
It's just the more noticeable when they come to the Premiership, right? Because it's all in the media.
True, absolutely true. I didn't hear a thing about him at Wolfsburg because I wasn't paying attention. So yeah, it could have been worse over there.
It's only a German team. Who are Germany?
Yeah, Germans. But no, I'm just kidding. I'm German, so I'm allowed to say that. Audio Artisan's going for a 1-2. Good deal. I love the optimism there. Boris is saying he's going to go with either a 1-1 or a 2-2, and we go through on the one goal from the first leg. I would love it. I would absolutely be over the moon with that. And then Ryan, you said, "Oh, okay." Ryan, you saying he thinks they're more frequent now? Absolutely possible.
They love to argue with Johnny, don't they? Everyone loves to fucking argue with Johnny.
You have to,
Ryan. Just stop it, brother.
We know we can work you up. We like it. Worked up Johnny's the best.
Have a fag. Have a cup of tea, brother.
I'm all vaping now. I got off the actual cigarettes, and I've got this. I'm not sure if it's any better.
Oh, that's even worse for you, the vape. It's like smoking antifreeze, brother.
I know.
Have some South American tobacco, man. For fuck's sake.
Cigarettes are expensive.
Man, you're telling me.
Yeah. And then
I live right by Oklahoma, so they're super cheap there.
Oh, nice, dude. Nice. Yeah, they're cheaper in Kentucky. I'm pretty close to Kentucky and can just run over there and grab some too.
Well, like different prices in different states.
Oh, hell yeah. Well, taxes are fucking nuts in some states.
Yeah. So in Oklahoma, it's still technically Indian territory. So they don't have any tax on it at all. And it's cheaper, and I can't remember why, but there's because they have different so each state, whenever you go from state to state, you have it's like going from country to country almost. You have import export kind of taxes that you have to pay.
Wow.
So, yeah, and like
We,
if I want
we didn't know that in UK. I didn't know that.
well,
It's
each
the
state
United
is
States is a
basically
weird place.
it's basically each state is their own country with their own government, but they're all united under the federal government.
Right.
But states can have their own
States-
rules that supersede the federal rules.
Right.
That's how like some states allowed marijuana, even though it's federally illegal.
Yeah.
In the
Most
states,
of them
allowed.
have it legal now.
Yeah, a lot of them. Not mine, but that's okay. But
It is here.
All over to Nick's. All over to Nick's.
Right.
Come on,
Yeah,
y'all come on over visit, man.
now I know where I'm going. When I win that bet, give me some gas money. Head over there.
It's only 12 hours.
Chris, I don't mind. Chris Peters says free Puerto Rico. Absolutely, man.
Puerto Rico doesn't want to be free.
From Puerto Rico. My Spanish teacher in high school is from Puerto Rico. She's a lovely lady. But yeah, guys, I unfortunately got to get ready for work. But this has been awesome. Thanks for hanging out with me. Everybody that's been here, thanks for being here. It's always lovely to hang out with friends, and I'm just sitting on pins and needles waiting for this match to start, and I needed to talk with some people about it, so it was really nice. I appreciate everybody for doing it. Yeah, come on. We both have some nice classic kits on, buddy. And wait, I can't
on this picture.
Yeah, White Hart. You got the sign. Hold on. Oh, I got something too. Oh, mine's not my good one, but I got mine the Gap. One, nice. And then I've got another one, like an N17 one somewhere. I need to put it up on the wall. But yeah, guys, thank you so much. Thanks to everybody in the chat. My score prediction, if anyone wants to know, is going to be 2-1. 1-2, I guess, if we're doing it the correct way. Don't want Jose to get mad at me.
I was about to say exactly the same thing.
Yep.
Yeah.
But to everybody that's been here, I'm going to go back. Chris Peters, Ryan G, Ben Kaufman was in the house. Congrats on your 1,000 subs, buddy. Audio Artisan, Ronnie, Benny was here. Peter Kagaius, Drula, Leo, Destiny 5. Let's see if I missed anybody else. If I did, I'm so sorry. Boris is here. And then that looks just to be just about everybody. So thanks to everybody for tuning in. Really appreciate it. Chris Peters says 1-1 tonight. Spurs through with their first goal, with their goal in the first leg. Love it. We got a big up from Audio Artisan and a take care from Ryan G.
Take care, Ryan, brother.
Yep. You guys all be good.
You,
like I always say, everybody, take care of yourselves. Be good to yourself. Be good to other people. You'd be surprised how much better life gets. And you guys got any last words before we end this thing?
Come on, you Spurs.
I get in trouble every time I say something, Cole. Come on, you knows. You know me.
You know me. Yep. Absolutely. I'm not afraid. All right, guys. Well, I'm ending this. I'll probably play. Let's see what I'm going to play for our outro video today.
You've got the old-fashioned talking ball one, Cole.
I'm going to play the Keeper West Ham intro because we haven't played that in forever. There we go. I'll play us out with that. But all right, see you guys in the back. But later, everyone.